Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nick, and welcome back to the Dr. Nick Show. Today I wanted to go through some of the movies that I've watched this month. The majority of these I got from Disc Replay or from thrift stores. There's kind of a mixture of genres. When I go into a lot of these places, I try to find movies that I've never seen before. I'll go through several shelves, read the synopsis, and kind of decide from there. So it's always cool to find movies that I've never seen. So I'll go ahead and start out with this one right here. From, what year is this? I don't see the year on it, but it is The People I Know with Kim Basinger and Al Pacino. So this is a movie about a publicist that basically books parties and helps out politicians and stuff. And he witnesses a woman getting murdered. A friend of his calls him to escort her back to the hotel, fly her back to wherever she came from. Basically, like not connecting them two together. He was hired her as an escort, basically, but he has a sort of a drug problem. He witnesses this woman being killed, and the movie basically consists of him trying to throw this party together, trying to figure out what he saw. Definitely interesting movie. I would highly recommend it. It's kind of a thriller, mystery type thing, a little bit of action thrown in, but highly recommend it. It's a pretty good movie. I had never heard it before. It was interesting to find on the shelf. It's actually an old Hollywood video rental. The next one up here, we got Steven Seagal and Keenan Wayans in The Glimmer Man. So this movie consists of Jack Cole and Jim Campbell, LAPD homicide detectives that are being called in to figure out what is going on in their town. Seagal is, of course, former military. Most of the storylines go. They're trying to find the suspect in their murder investigation. It's got a little bit of comedy in it. It's got a lot of action. I would have never thought to see Keenan Wayans in an action movie. Of course, you got, the skills of Seagal beating the crap out of everybody. It's an interesting movie. It's not bad. It's definitely interesting. They call him the Glimmer Man because he was able to get in and out and finish his mission, and all you'd see is just a glimmer of him. So good movie, not too bad. This one really threw me through a loop. This movie is called The Immortals. Eric Roberts, Tia Carrere, Tony Curtis, Joe Panalano, Chris Rock, Kevin Burnett, Brian Finney. So this movie is about a guy who hires a bunch of these other people to pull off a heist and rob this other casino owner. I won't spoil it for you, but there's a reason why all of these people are connected. There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie. I would highly recommend it. Great cast, interesting story, good one. We got Antonio Banderas, The Body. This one kind of really surprised me. Antonio Banderas stars as a priest who is called to investigate the possible finding of Jesus' body. They found a skeleton in a cave in trying to think of where exactly, in near Israel. A guy was building a basement for a store, and they came across it, uncovering an excavation, archaeological dig, So they're wanting to prove whether this is or isn't Jesus. And if it is, it's really going to question a lot of people in the religion itself. So pretty good. We got The Sentinel with Michael Douglas, Kiefer Sutherland, and Eva Longoria. So this stars a Michael Douglas, and he is one of the head people at the Secret Service. He is having an affair with the First Lady, and there is a person that is trying to kill the president. And they frame him, and he has to prove that it was not him. But then they also find out, in doing this investigation that he was involved with the First Lady. This guy right here, Kiefer Sutherland, thinks that Michael Douglas also was involved with his ex-wife. This one, a Hughes brother film, Dead Presidents. It's a group of friends who went to Vietnam, come back, and are dealing with a lot of the issues that people dealt with, PTSD, people being angry with them. They have a friend who works at the post office. Every so often, a truck comes and takes the rough-looking, destroyed money and burns it, like they burn it for the government. They organize this heist to rob the armored truck. It apparently goes awry, and a bunch of people get shot, and it's an interesting story. It definitely tells a lot about what soldiers who come home during that dealt with. Really good cast. You got, let's see here, Chris Tucker is one of the standouts. I didn't really recognize any of the other ones. But it was definitely an interesting movie. I don't know what year it came out. It doesn't say on the back, but pretty good. Of course, you can't have a movie haul without a Nicolas Cage action film, Bangkok Dangerous. Nicolas Cage stars as a hitman. He goes to Bangkok to do one more job. He meets this guy on the street, recruits him, goes on to teach him his ways. He meets this woman in a pharmacy, and he's really thinking about just stepping out of the hitman game. But he gets kind of involved in some wacky undergoings of the people that he's trying to take out. I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, a lot of the movies that he does are okay. They're not great. They're okay. Not bad. We got John Lithgow, Ice-T, Denzel Washington, and Ricochet. In a interesting twist, he starts out as a police officer. He arrests John Lithgow, and Ice-T is the local drug dealer that he knows, and John Lithgow has a vendetta against Denzel Washington. He ends up kidnapping him, drugging him, and setting him up, making it look like he killed some people and was involved with some just not so good stuff. So Blake escapes from jail, faking his own death, and everybody thinks that Denzel Washington's character is behind everything that goes on. So it's interesting. I enjoyed it. It was I don't see a year on this one either. I don't know why they don't put the years on this stuff. But Ice-T's in it, like I said. I don't see a year, unfortunately. We got Steven Seagal, Tom Sizemore and Nos and Ticker. Dennis Hopper descends on San Francisco. It's up to 2 men to uncover his plot and the massive bomb hidden in the city. Steven Seagal stars as the leader of the bomb squad. And Tom Sizemore is a vice cop out for vengeance. Featuring special appearance by pop sensation Chili. So, basically they're trying to figure out who's been setting off all these bombs. He's a terrorist. And Steven Seagal and Tom Sizemore are trying to find him. Because at the beginning of the movie, Tom Sizemore's wife and child were killed in a car bomb. This is Red and Red 2. Both of these star Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, and the second one has Anthony Hopkins, Mary-Louise Parker, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and you have Bruce Willis's character is retired from a special operative, and he was involved in a couple of missions that somebody's wanting to eliminate him from. So they go and they try to kill everybody that was involved in that mission, and they have to fight back. I'd never seen them. Both of them are pretty good. Bruce Willis, is one of my favorite actors, Morgan Freeman. So it was definitely 2 good movies to check out. I would watch them again for sure. Hell of a cast. We got Richard Gere in Strike Force. When a teenage boy stumbles on a mafia execution in progress, he becomes the next murder victim in a gangland drug war that has feds up in arms. Richard Gere stars as the cool cop who heads to elite strike force created to crack the case and put the drug dealers where they belong. So, not a bad movie. It was pretty interesting. It's from 97. I guess I just never really pictured Richard Gere as an action film star. I guess he has been in a handful of things, but still pretty good in my opinion. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good movie. Next up, we have Art of War and Art of War 2. And Agent Neil Shaw, Wesley Snipes, comes out of hiding to avenge his former mentor's murder. And in the first one, an elite team, United Nations agents, they're trying to take out a weapon of choice their weapons of choice as Shaw unravels a scheme to destroy an historic summit with China. They're trying to do like a trade agreement, and he's trying to figure out why they wanted to sabotage it. I've always enjoyed Wesley Snipes. We got John Voight and Keenan Wayans in Most Wanted. Keenan Wayans is a former Marine arrested for supposedly murdering his commanding officer. He's being recruited for an elite squad, sort of a unit that doesn't exist. He gets framed for the murder of the First Lady and has to clear his name. Pretty clear-cut story. He's a sniper. This one, I thought it was the first one, but it's actually the second one. X-Files, I Want to Believe. Mulder and Scully reunite to search for the missing woman that has been kidnapped from the FBI. The first one was really good. This one, it was more of a mystery to me than anything. I don't know. I guess I was expecting more alien stuff. Let's see what we got here. We got Pierce Brosnan Ben Cross and Ron Silver in Live Wire. Pierce Brosnan stars as a bomb technician. His wife is flaunting her affair with a senator, the very man he's been assigned to protect against terrorist attacks. But his biggest enemy is the one he can't see. It's a lethal new bomb disguised as water, held by a psychopathic terrorist. So, it's a bomb you can't see. It's, when you mix it with water, it blows up. Salma Hayek in Everly. She is in her apartment and is going to turn her owner. She is being held captive by a drug dealer, I'm assuming, pimp type, Yakuza boss, and she has to fight her way out. Pretty damn good movie, in my opinion. Lot of shooting. Very good. This one really surprised me. Lindsay Lohan and I Know Who Killed Me. So it stars Lindsay Lohan, and she gets kidnapped, and she is taken by a serial killer who his sort of MO is removing limbs from his victims. The other woman was dead, and she is found on the side of the road with her hand missing and her lower half of her leg gone. So she keeps having these weird premonitions of living someone else's life, and she can't really figure out what's going on. She thinks she's this other woman. She doesn't remember who she is. A lot of twists and turns in this movie. I highly recommend it. We got Richard Gere in No Mercy. Basically, he is avenging his partner's death. He has to travel to New Orleans and find this drug dealer that hired a hitman. And it stars Kim Basinger. It is definitely something that I would have seen in theaters back in the day. This came out it came out in 86. Wow, I didn't realize it was that old. Pretty good. Pretty interesting movie. Typical 80s action film, I guess. Got Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman in No Way Out. Very good movie. I would recommend this as well. Imagine being a hunter, leading highly trained bloodhounds in pursuit of a killer, and the trail leads directly to you. He has to clear his name. He was seen with the senator's mistress, and Gene Hackman kills his mistress and is blaming it on Russian spies. So that definitely tells you what time period this was. He blames it. This was 1987. So this was, still around the Cold War era type thing. Pretty good movie. Gene Hackman is an awesome actor. Costner. You'll definitely have some surprise in this. We have Steven Seagal in Above the Law. Chicago cop Nico Toscani is onto something big. Suspects collared in a drug raid are allowed to walk, and Nico himself is asked to turn in his badge. He may be off the force, but not out of action. So this was his debut movie. He is a ex-CIA operative, and he has to track other CIA operatives that are trafficking drugs and plotting a political assassination. Pretty good. Not too bad. I'm a Seagal fan of his movies. So, those are the movies that I've watched this month. I would highly recommend a lot of these. There was a few that were better than expected, but I mean, I did enjoy all of them. So give this video a like, comment down below, and I will see you next time.